Hello, beautiful light family. My name is Monica. Welcome to today's video. This video is very impromptu that I wasn't expecting to make today. As you could probably see, I'm in a parking lot right now, and I was just doing some shopping, and I had lunch while I was out. And as I was eating my lunch, I was talking to someone on the phone, and we were talking about issues with family. And I'm not even sure what to title this video exactly. I'm kind of thinking about maybe might be kind of controversial, but something like family isn't everything, or quantity versus quality of relationships with family, something along those lines, just to give you an idea of that's what we're talking about today. So this is probably going to be more like a rant. I don't really have a structure idea for this, so I'm just gonna start talking, and hopefully it all kind of comes together and makes sense and it doesn't sound too rambly. Okay, so what we were talking about, and this is something that I brought up, and this is a belief that I've had for a while and something that I've felt for a while, but I haven't said it because I just thought maybe it would sound too cold, and maybe it will, trigger some people. I know some people might also say, because I don't personally have any contact with any of my biological family at all at this time, and I haven't for years, that I'm very biased, which you could say in some ways, and that I'm just bitter or something about it. Whatever people want to say, that's fine, that's their own opinion. But in case you don't know, I'll just say I haven't talked too much about my family, so let me just give a little bit of background. I am an only child. I never met my father. I've never met any members of my family except for my mom. She raised me as a single parent. I left home when I was 16, and I've been on my own since then. So I have kind of a weird history with family, or lack thereof. So I don't technically have a lot of experience with biological families, but every family is different. I kind of used to go by what I would see on TV, but I know not every family is like TV. That's all made up. They get some experiences from real life. So anyways, the thing we were talking about mostly was how family, particularly parents, I feel like, and I've seen this with quite a few of my friends and just people over the years, that their family, again, particularly their parents, will kind of try to guilt them into spending more time with their family, meaning their mom, dad, brothers, sisters, maybe aunts, uncles, cousins, that sort of extended thing, to grandparents as well. And the thing is, for me, I think it's wonderful when people get along with their family. I think it's wonderful when they're close to their family, or at least some members of their family they might be close to. But in my opinion, family does not automatically equal friends. So I know not everyone is close to every member of their family. Some people may not be close to any of their family. And close meaning having a really personal relationship where you get along really well, and you hang out and you go do things and you talk over the phone or have long conversations, like a friendship. That sort of dynamic for a relationship. And there's some people who have family members that are their soul family, meaning they're soulmates, not in a romantic sense, but that they're of the same family, they're of the same soul family origins, maybe cosmic family, before they came down to Earth. I have a whole video about that I will link up above in case you're wondering what is a soul family. And I've seen that there's sometimes sisters who get along really well, or brothers and sisters, or parents and children who get along. That is fantastic. I think that's absolutely wonderful. But not everybody has that same kind of relationship dynamic where they want to be friends. And I think it should be a choice. I feel like it shouldn't be... I feel like a person shouldn't be obligated to be best friends with anybody in their family if they don't vibe the same way and they just don't have that kind of closeness. So I really don't like certain terms that I've heard a lot in real life, on TV, with other people's families, especially when their parents will tell the child, family is all you have. They're your only family, they're all you have. So basically saying that you need to hang out with them and spend a lot of time with them. I don't agree with that statement. Your family is not all that you have. And I used to believe that was the case for a long time, that it was all you had. And so when years ago, when my friends moved away and I didn't have any friends and I didn't have any family, biological blood relatives that I would talk to that I knew of, I felt shitty about it, honestly. I felt like my life almost didn't amount to anything if I didn't have friends or family, which was everything, and everybody else had it. Why didn't I? I thought something was wrong with me. I didn't see the point of living anymore. I just felt so alone. And technically I was very alone at that time. And the thing is, I realized, of course, later on that family is not everything, and that they're not all that you have, and that there have been so many people in my life that have been like family to me. I felt closer to them than I did with my own family, at least my mom at times, or even the family members I've never met, but I've talked to on the phone and online. So there are 7 billion people on this planet. So I don't believe that your family is all you have. And some people have really small families, some people have extended families, some people have loved ones that have passed away, and they may not have they may not have any members of their family left, unfortunately. So I think it's very detrimental to have that belief of family is everything and family is all you got in life. And the other thing too is I have made the choice that whenever someone passes away, I haven't had that experience yet, someone who was close to me, whether it was a family member, if I were close to them, or friends, or, co-workers, or just anybody that I was familiar with. And even my pets, my dogs, I made a decision not to regret how much time I spent with them before they passed away. Because, first of all, I don't believe in having regrets. I don't have regrets on anything. It's another video I will link up above. So, no regrets in life. I believe everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, the way it's meant to happen. And the other thing is, I don't have any regrets if I didn't spend a lot of time with family, or even like my husband's family, or just anybody in general. If I'm not really close to them, if we're not really have that kind of relationship, as long as I know that I was polite and I was respectful and I made some kind of effort to see them or talk to them, especially if they reached out. And also if they needed help, if I was there for them in any way that I could be, whether it was like moral support, talking to them, listening to them, or if they really needed something physically for me to do to help them, if I could do it, I would do it. So to me, I think it's better to have a good quality relationship with people, with your family, versus just spending so much time with them but not really enjoying it or feeling drained. Because let's face it, a lot of family members can be very toxic in different ways. Or if you're just constantly fighting, you don't get along, you don't see eye to eye, you don't understand each other, you're on way different consciousness levels, and you can't have that deep of a relationship with them if everything's just on the surface. Because for me, that's very draining. I have to be able to feel comfortable and supported and heard and seen within relationships to really feel close to somebody. So I don't see the point of hanging out with family every day, every other day, every week, month. it's all relative how often you do what seems like a lot or not a lot. If I'm constantly feeling, like I said, drained, if I have negative associations, like feelings with them, if I hang out with them but I'm resentful about something they did, or I'm hurt by something they said, or I just don't feel like I can be myself around them, I don't feel the need to keep having a huge quantity of time with them if we don't have that kind of dynamic. I would rather have the times I am with them be quality. Like, I believe in not hanging out with people who no longer serve my highest good. Meaning that, maybe they're very self-centered in certain ways, and, they only want to talk about themselves, and they may be kind of like an energy vampire, or they're, whatever it is. If it's just something that makes me feel like I don't want to be around them, I'm not going to hang out with them. And with family, that can be a lot more difficult. Sometimes people do cut certain family members out of their life, depending on what happened, and not speak to them again. And I think that is actually fine if it's better for your mental health. But if you do choose to still spend time with family, even if you just really don't get along, or you're not vibing, like I said, I think it's very important to set boundaries with them. Let them know what's okay and what's not okay with you. And also set boundaries with how much time you're going to spend with them. And I personally believe in the spending less time, less often, but still making an effort to see them, especially when they reach out, if you're willing to, and if you can. So knowing that, once again, when someone passes away, it's close to me, family or not, I choose not to I choose not to have regret and think, oh, I should have spent more time with them while they were here, for all of the reasons I just listed. And I know that could sound really harsh and cold, like, well, you should spend tons of time with your family. I don't believe that's the case. Not with every family, not with every family member. It's all different, depending on your relationship. And like I said, I believe that we spend the amount of time that we're supposed to spend with them. And again, it's just absolutely great if you do really just get along with your family or certain members. But I want to kind of bring light to that whole guilt and shame from family about not wanting to see them all the time, or not coming home every Christmas or Thanksgiving. Like, movies will make you think, or movies are always saying that you got to spend every single holiday with your family, or at least Thanksgiving and Christmas if you don't live near them. Like, you got to always see them all the time. And, maybe you want to see them different times of the year. There's more days of the year than just Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I think it's up to each and every individual to make that decision. Okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I don't think I have anything else to add. Just, basically, like, quality is more important to me with relationships. And also, I guess one more thing I want to add is forgiveness, because there are some family members who are on a different level of consciousness, in the sense of they don't have the capacity, or I'm sure they have it, but they don't choose to use, they don't choose to do any inner work, and they don't choose to really kind of see beyond themselves. And so if you do try to talk to them about something that may have hurt your feelings, like, when you did this, I felt this way. And instead of taking a moment and reflecting and being like, you know what, wow, I didn't realize you felt that way, and I'm sorry, I didn't intend to do that, or that wasn't my intention. Instead, they will blame everything and everyone else outside of themselves and not take any responsibility ever for anything that they ever do, and they won't ever apologize. And that can make it very difficult too, hanging out with family, if you're having that resentment and you don't feel like you're able to talk to them about it, because they can't actually hear you. They lack that kind of maturity, conscious capacity to really fully hear you out and understand you, and not just blame, and take some responsibility and not blame everyone else. So I've definitely experienced that case several times. And what I do is I just work on forgiving them, sometimes forgiving them in silence. And I will actually make a video about forgiveness in the future, and how to forgive yourself and others. So hopefully that will give you a little bit more of an idea of how to do that if you're struggling with forgiving certain people in your family, or anyone for that matter. Okay, as you can probably see, it is really hot in here. I'm in the truck and it's hot today, so I'm like starting to sweat. So I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully this helped you in some way, maybe kind of get rid of a little bit of that guilt and shame if you are experiencing that with family, and that pressure and the obligation to always be hanging out with them for a lot, especially when you just don't feel that close connection and you don't really want to do that. So anyways, as always, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye everyone.